Oh hi, so I'm going in the animal garden and yeah, I'm in known territory now, so I mean I was just exploring some unknown territory for me, which was very interesting, and it was much easier to get home than I thought. So I mean that was like a nice circular walk where I just got back at almost to the point where I started walking. Actually, I mean it was almost like a circle. So but anyway, uh, yeah, well, yeah, I was just thinking, because I was just thinking about, I want to talk about this Sabia and Lauren phenomenon, which, as I said, I mean, it's if you haven't heard about it, I made another video called "The Curious Case of," the Curious Case of Sabia and Lauren, but. If you haven't heard about it, it's this guy who was in an accident. He was 18 years old. It's an American guy, Lauren Chafers, and then he got in a work accident where he was driving a fork truck. Then he got his entire lower body and his hand and his decapitated. So essentially, it's interesting scientifically, this case, because it shows that a human being can still be alive after. Because you could take off both arms as well, and you're just a torso and a head, and the human body can still function even without the urinary system and without the pelvis. The pelvis. But yeah, anyway, so now look at that weird light. It's a weird light there. It's red light district, purple light haze. It's kinky. Oh yeah, right. But anyway, yeah, I was just thinking, my father was a psychiatrist, and I'm just thinking, like, how does this make any sense? It's like he has his 19-year-old girlfriend, who was 1 year older than her. She was 19 at the time. Then they get married after the accident. She still sticks with him, and they get married after the accident. And I'm just like, okay, fine. I mean, I can understand her still staying with him. I mean, it would be like really douchebag move if it was just like, yeah, fuck you, I'm never gonna see you again because you had an accident. I mean, the mainstream media and the mainstream internet is like, oh, it's so incredible she stays with him. But I mean, they had a relationship for like a year or something, like a very good relationship where they lived together. I mean, what kind of douchebag would she be if she was still like, yeah, bye bye? I mean, that would just be ludicrous. But but okay, then again, I think, I mean, marrying the guy is pretty extreme, and that he really has the energy for that. I mean, he has the energy for, oh, I can get out of the forest now, so nice, so creepy here at night. Yeah, I mean, now that I know that the animals actually are fed, they're actually fed food from humans, then I'm not really afraid of them anymore, because I mean, there's nothing to fear from them when they have food and shit, so I mean, it's like, of course, I mean, they're pretty strong, but they don't really know what a human being is, so they're extremely afraid of humans. And I mean, also, I mean, I think like 700 of them get shot every year by hunters. So it's like, all right. I mean, maybe they have some kind of comprehension of that. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, anyway, well, I was just saying what I want to say, why I made this video. Just that I want to say that what I find strange about this is well, firstly, I mean, like, just shows how stupid many people are. But I mean, why are they even asking about like having sex? You know, when obviously they're not. I mean, when he doesn't have his organs, right? I mean, so that was like this piece of shit, you know, this kid Larry King from CNN. He would like also ask the paraplegic Christopher Reeve if he was Christopher Reeves before the Mandela effect changed, but he was like, are you still having sex with your wife? I mean, it's like, I mean, are these guys retarded or what? I mean, it's like, obviously you need to have functioning reproduction organs to have sex, right? I mean, so it's just, I mean, it's like 2 + 2 is 4. No, it's not 5. No, it's kind of like Orwellian bullshit. Okay, so right, so I was just thinking, like, wouldn't this guy Lauren, wouldn't he like lose his interest in the other, what do you call it, the other sex? Yeah, and I don't mean any like disrespect to these people. They seem like nice people. This is called Fox Road. You know, Fox High Road. Fox. Oh, this is Jordekers right here. Which is really long, by the way. I mean, it's like. So this is like Fox Hill Road. Oh, I mean, alright, so. And there's a flower. What does that flower mean? It's just a flower. I mean, what does that sign mean? Well, alright, so. So I was just like thinking, you know, wouldn't he like lose his? I mean, I thought like wasn't this notion about castrato singers that where their voice changed because they doesn't have any balls? Why hasn't that happened to him? His voice still sounds normal. He sounds a little tired, granted, but. I don't know if maybe it's the medication or something, I don't know. But also obviously his lifespan is going to be like significantly shortened, which would make her even bigger douchebag. for leaving him, because maybe it's only a little time that he can live in that condition anyway. So it's like again, like, it's what the fuck. I mean, it's truly terrifying. Like the thing that happened to like Stephen Hawking. Like, shit like that can happen to people. I mean, it's really terrifying. And essentially, what makes you a person is your brain, right? I mean, because we see from Siamese twins, we know that that they think they're two people. So that's because they have two brains. So essentially, their brains are telling them, okay, I'm an individual person, even though they're Siamese twin. They both think they're so essentially, your brain is going to like form the notion that it is some kind of like single organism, which of course in a way it is, but then again, I mean, it's just language. I mean, we're just talking words here, so I mean, I don't know how it corresponds to reality beyond language, but it's just you know. But I mean, I think a lot of the freedom that animals have is because they don't see themselves as a single individual. I mean, there's big freedom in that, I guess. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. I mean, I was just like, you know, I was thinking, like, and again, I mean, in the beginning I was a little arrogant maybe, but I really got a lot of like empathy for this guy Lawrence Davis. It's a normally I'm not into these kind of like, you know, happy recovery stories, you know, like some like you know, like you can still be happy even though you're in some kind of like horrific situation or something. Like, I don't like these kind of stories, but this one I like, and I like Sabia and Lauren as well. I forgot her last name, but I really like them as human beings as well. But I'm just saying, like, wouldn't he like lose his interest in the other sex? Again, I can understand he has some kind of like attachment to her as well, because but surely it cannot be sexual anymore. Unless he has some kind of like phantom. They actually talked about this in Game of Thrones. I think I thought like three seasons of Game of Thrones or something, and there was this torture scene, and I saw that on YouTube, but I was like this, that was like, why is I'm gonna get his dick cut off, and then I'm like, well, I was still thinking, or still getting an erection. Like, when you think about a naked woman or something, like, what happens down there, you know? It's like, and again, I mean, I'm not talking about this because it's some kind of like disrespectful or weird topic, or I'm just like generally interested in the psychological and psychiatric change that is bound to happen. I mean, I had some of it because I was like at one point I was like on a couple of years ago I was on psychiatric drugs for a year, where I took them every day for a year, and that's sort of like a chemical castration in a way, because you get a lot less interested in sex. It affects your it doesn't make you downright like impotent unless you're really unlucky. But that's very unlikely to happen. But but it affects your sexual drive. So I mean, I still got a lot of sex drive anyway, but it's just yeah, so I don't know really what the point is for this guy. I mean, he has this cat, he likes his cats, but really what's the point in really having a wife and a girlfriend? There was another story about this, born on the 4th of July, which is based on a real life story from a young soldier that got wounded in the Vietnam War when he was in a wheelchair. But he also got impotent, also got something wrong with his genital area. So, and that was really what he was most sorry about. And he's like, I'm really and not being in a wheelchair, but not being able to have a sex life. So he was like, he never married and stuff. So. And I heard that was made into a movie with Tom Cruise, by Oliver Stone, born on the 4th of July. So it's a strange world, it's like, also, I mean, this Lauren Schaefer, I mean, he's a pretty good looking guy, and like, you somebody who would be pretty attractive to women before the accident, and I mean that's also like some of them, like the horror of nature in a way, like what if you're like really ugly, what if you got like an elephant man? There's still people who are in that condition today, like, with like tumors over their face and stuff, like. And it's like, yeah, I'm not even sure why I pressed the video. It just came up in my feed, in my home feed. So I was like just pressed it by mistake, I think. And then there was this guy who was like, I really got shocked the first time I saw him. I was really shocked because he because of how much of his body he lost. I mean, he must weigh like something like 30 kilo, if that much, probably less, probably a lot less, but I'm just guessing. Like, I mean, he's really just an upper body and a head, like. And then half his arm is, he's left-handed, but half his right hand is, half arm is gone. I mean, and like his, what do you call it? His, some of his bone around the neck. So it's like, yeah, well, so I mean, also when he says like he has like phantom pain in his legs, I mean, surely he must have some phantom legs in his he says he doesn't have so much in his arm, but a lot of his legs. But some of the phantom pain must also be like just the pelvis being gone, right? And so he can like poop, pee, and fart, and like in another way, like with his just with his entrails or something. With his I forgot what it's called, but I guess just the entrails that they take care of that, which is sort of weird and surprising, at least to me, that I didn't know you could actually survive without your urinary system. I mean, that's pretty incredible in a way. But yeah, well, yeah, well, I mean, I think it is impressive, like from personal development point of view, that I mean, we're brainwashed to like these kind of stories, right? These kind of like feel good stories, like, you know, like overcoming adversity, and you know that there was this guy who was like he had like only 1 foot or something, you know, like one without arms, and without arms and legs, and he had 1 foot. I think it's his left foot here. So I think some Serbian guy or something, and he was like also like a big hit, like just saying, yeah, I have a great life despite this, and you know, so it's just like, you know, personally I think that isn't poor taste, because I mean, there's lots of people that suffer, you know, even though they're normal, and they're still suffering a lot, but I think the little Lauren Schaefer's guy, you know, the way he fights that is pretty impressive, and he's like saying like pain, go away. Like he was like, when he was in pain, he was like, pain, go away. And it's like pretty. But then I mean, again, there's some inaccuracies, I think, connected with the way the story is told, but yeah, anyway, so okay, it's still pretty cold. It's my mother's birthday tomorrow. She'll be 87. I'll be 46 in 2 weeks time. So so it's still pretty cold here. I mean, it's like at night it's pretty cold. So I'm just gonna go home now. It was really great to explore some new area, new territory, and then I'm gonna like go for a run, beginner run training Tuesday. Or maybe I should, by the way, go to Narum tonight. I think it must be still possible with the train. So I should just maybe like go for train ride. You know, it's quick, back and forth. So easy because it's very close to me. So Of course I'm fucked if I better do it tomorrow because it's Sunday, so yeah, I don't know how long they're going in the Sunday, but because I would be pretty fucked if I can't get home with the train, you know, and I was like, yeah, I better do it tomorrow, I guess. So I'll just but so that'll I'm really looking forward to that on Tuesday. Like this running club. It's also an athletic club, and I found out that I really have to. I have to team up with some people because to train for the run I'm going at the fall, because it's just too boring to run alone, you know. Or of course, alternatively, I can like run like right now, like, so then it gets like I don't have a GoPro, but then it gets like at least it gets recorded on YouTube, and I think I'll do that also when I'm running alone, because then at least there's some kind of point to it. So okay, that's this guy running in the other direction. Also, so at least I mean it's just I don't know, it's just boring to run alone. It's like it's one of those things, you know. You have this notion that, you know, some things you do together. I guess some people will never go see a movie alone. I don't mind that, but it's like Friday Night 2. This is like you're going bowling alone, you know, like what? It's like implication is that, you know, you should. That's something you do with other people, you know. Like, so I don't know. I mean, of course, there's some things you can't do alone, like have sex. You can't have real sex alone. That's masturbation. So, uh, so yeah. Well, by the way, maybe I should explore this area now that I got it. Because there's a public area in here which is kind of interesting. I don't know, I think there's some like club activity or something at night, so I can get some footage maybe here, like you know, and I you know I welcome the anti-smoking sentiment ideas. Even like, although I don't support a ban of a criminal ban of marijuana, of hashish, you know, hash. I do think it's a pretty, you know, dumb thing to smoke, because you're really not really getting any like spiritual benefits or anything, you know. This but it has this, you know, rumor of being like progressive, like actually I was offered cocaine once where I said no, and I'm really not interested in that. I'm glad I said no. I don't want cocaine and heroin, but I thought I would try smoking weed because it has this rumor of being like for thoughtful, intelligent people, but I don't think that's not my experience with it at all. It only, in my opinion, it only has a physical effect, and it doesn't really well, It does not. It doesn't really have any it's not making you think great thoughts or anything. So I don't even, maybe I was doing it wrong or something, but I don't even know what that means, like to be high. Yeah, I got, the effect I got was like being tired, more tired, and just no effect at all, or just maybe a little bit more relaxed, but I guess that was more like the fun of trying it and the anticipation. So okay, so that's like a school or something, you know. I don't care about, you know. I just film anything, you know. Like I don't care, you know. Obviously, I mean, I got like three channels removed. You know, got removed from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know, I don't care about censorship. I just I follow my own conscience, my own right and wrong. So I don't see anything like unethical like about like filming stuff like this, for example. Also, I mean, these guys were like, yeah, you're not allowed to film me without my permission, and you're not allowed to put it on social media. It's illegal. Like, what are they gonna do about it? Like, I mean, firstly, it's not illegal. Secondly, it's never been punished. So I mean, obviously, when you say if you're thinking about something being legal or not, then you should also think about, well, what's the punishment, right? I mean, so I mean, it's pretty retarded. Yeah. Yeah, well, so that's like a creepy image. Well, there was this other school that was like a good place to be. They claim it's a good place to be, and then I was like sitting down, and I got thrown out just for sitting down for a couple of minutes to eat my food at a bench. And I was like, some creepy Danish teacher tried to throw me out, and I got pretty upset and angry, but nothing happened. Other than that, I just left. So it's like, I mean, because I don't think that makes any sense, you know, in a public area. Like, why is it public then? You know, we are paying his wages, you know. There's some guy who's paying his salary, you know. He's not allowed to be there because you know, he's a retard. But he wants his salary paid by the same guy, you know, like that he's trying to abuse, you know. So that's the Danish logic. Oh, so here's some like nice like urban exploration. Oh, so there's camera there. So cameras like yeah. I mean, what are they gonna? Oh, that's a weird door as well. Look at that weird door there. Oh yeah, so I think there's actually like some people in there, you know, like doing some weird stuff. And then maybe, well, that is a dormitory, I think. But in there is like some kind of like club activity. Let's take a look. So again, I mean, you don't need a purpose when you're in the public space. You don't need to tell anybody about your purpose. You could just be exploring or curiosity or something, as opposed to being on private property, obviously, which is different. So I don't. Oh, this is a swimming hall. Oh, yeah, I can smell the chlor. I can smell the, stuff, the chemical from that you put in the water. It's like, oh yeah, they got their own fucking swimming hall. That's fucking epic. That's fucking epic, man. I think also we got. I mean, we got some we got like a world champion female swimmer from this area, I think so. I mean, it's probably we got some good, oh, that's some guy, but he's from the dormitory, I think. But okay, that was interesting. Like, I hope it was, because I'm really into this like urban exploration. So I mean, it's not that I thought a lot about this particular area, but it's definitely something like most people wouldn't do in Denmark. They would think. I mean, if they didn't have like a purpose for being there, they wouldn't go there. But I don't really care about that at all. I'm just like, do what the fuck I want, like a free fucking person. So I mean, it's a really bad like place to be free in Denmark, because firstly they it's not allowed to have weapons, which is obviously like, I mean, freedom of speech is and having weapons. I mean, that's the two obvious like freedoms you have to be free, which is allowed in USA, which is why they're so great. So it's pretty ludicrous, I don't know. I mean, what difference would it really make? Like, if I was like going for a walk, somebody shoot me in the street. I mean, who cares? It's like people don't have any life at all anyway. Here in Denmark, it's like, okay, we're disarmed. There's this guy, this American guy, that you would like, oh, you're complaining about being in a disarmed country. Yeah. I mean, hell yeah, I'm complaining about that. That. I mean, that fucking sucks. Like. I mean, it's fucking pathetic. Think about like how much freedom it would give you, like and safety, even safety, like. But then when it comes down to it, I mean, you can go a long way with martial arts, because I mean, sometimes there's gonna be like a problem with like like actually like applying the weapon, actually having the weapon on you or stuff. So I mean, I think you can actually I mean, of course martial arts has that like advantage that is really, I mean, that's why I didn't like sword fighting. I mean, my previous like MMA instructor, he said also like ninjutsu is with weapons, of course. Yeah, it's with weapons, but but how often do you have a sword? How often do you have a sword on you? I mean, seriously, I mean, like, okay, you might have it in the home, like a samurai sword or something to against a home intrusion, but you're not really. I mean, that's like with police, how many times police have they actually like saved someone from a crime, they can come after the crime, but how many times have they actually been there to prevent a crime, you know? So I mean, so certainly, I mean, criminal behavior is pretty scary. I mean, it's a horrible thing to break the law. Just terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. Oh, now I'm at my epic David Benatar video route. So we can talk about that as well. I mean, I was like with Andreas, you know, this piece of shit. You know, I'd like to like talk about why I don't like Andreas, you know, like, I mean, this guy, I mean, it's absolutely ludicrous. As I said many times, I just find it absolutely ludicrous that the chess environment and the anti-natalist environment, they didn't really like react more strongly to the Rona bullshit. So I was like, I mean, this guy is a voice in a text, essentially. For some reason, I'm guessing he's in his 20s. Seems very immature. You know, I lived through the AIDS. Let's just call it bullshit again, because you know, I don't want to use these like words that get you censored. So, like, I was like 13 or something when that hit. The propaganda engine, the mainstream propaganda engine. I don't know when was, what was the previous like health scare, you know, hype. Of course that's the plague, of course, but that's a long time ago. You know, leprosy and plague, and like where leopards had to like live in a separate, you know, place, you know, like, but that's so long time ago. So honestly, I don't know what was. I mean, in your time, you can like mention AIDS and SARS 1 and SARS 2, like, but I mean, maybe polio or something, but I mean, I never experienced that like. But anyway, so, and when we're talking about like precedents, like, it's something like totally ridiculous, like this guy who got fined like $5 for refusing to be vaccinated for polio or something. Like that's the precedents they're talking about, like. So yeah, that's just ludicrous. So this piece of shit, David Benatar, he said that, yeah, you shouldn't, you know, let people in on airplanes and universities and stuff if they weren't vaccinated, you know, like, you know, I mean, just totally retard mode, you know, like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, I mean, he was in Denmark, so like, I don't know when it was, like 2018 or something. So why was he like, you know, why was he like spreading his you know, germs and virus, you know, so much against it, you know, like, what was he doing in Denmark, you know? And he didn't ask us if we were vaccinated or not. I mean, I don't know what the guy's talking about. He's just a douchebag, you know. And so obviously, I mean, in my opinion, the smoking gun here is what's this? Alright, so oh, there's a bus. Maybe I should take a bus. I think I'm gonna take a bus. Then I'm maybe like, oh no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Yeah, alrighty. So, alright. And I got food at home. Alright, so what was I talking about? I was talking, oh yeah, so Andreas Moss, nobody ever heard his voice. Nobody in the internet. I mean, in the online. Never put his voice online or his image. He's what do you call it? He had this in defense of depressive realism blog and YouTube channel, but his voice actually wasn't there. So that's another problem I got with this guy and with his, like this guy from Korea who was like treated like some kind of hero, even though he killed himself, which is like a clear abuse of antinatalism, right? I mean, it's like just making it appear like we're suicidal, and but anyway, so what happened? Like I got like me and my friend Karina, we were like we got like an essay in his magazine, and the Antinatalist magazine, and I mean that's fine, but so the way we like got no longer friends, or whatever. I don't think we were friends to begin with, but the way we were like sort of like disagreeing with each other, let's just say it like that way. I was like I had like posted like I was doing like freedom activism from the beginning. I mean, some people did it already from like February, but I was thinking I was like thinking with this topic, I was thinking, okay, you can just ignore it, just ignore it. But then I think it was like 11th of March or something in Denmark, and then with this lockdown, I mean, it was obviously impossible to ignore anymore. So but so I was doing freedom activism at least from that point, and so I called the police and just talking in a nasty way to the police, because fuck the police. They're in on this. They're in on this. I'm not saying it's all of them are corrupt or anything, of course, but just that they just accepted this obviously illegal behavior. And I want to say that obviously a smoking gun here is obviously the lack of freedom of speech, even if you disagree about other things, you might disagree about what effect vaccines have and stuff, but obviously you cannot seriously claim that removing videos just for stating a point of view about a topic is that isn't evil as fuck. You're gonna have to admit that's evil. Right? So this guy, we're talking about a topic that is heavily censored, for no reason. You can what I mean by no reason is that, of course, when you're talking about another person, you can agree and not agree. But when you're just making a YouTube video, you can't really you can't know what the listener, viewer, whatever is gonna think about it. So by just removing billions of videos, billions of updates on social media, and it's just obviously it's just evil as fuck. So if I'm but this guy for having this conversation, it's on Messenger, where the censorship is going to be a lot less than if you post an update, but so he's essentially on the side of the censorship. Because the internet, the mainstream internet, would be flooded with people who are making fun of the project, and so on. Because it is a fucking retarded project. So essentially he's on that side, and David Veneta is on that side. So they must be secretly thanking me for at least being on the right side. Obviously they know what's right and wrong. And they must be happy for people who are on the right side of this. As I said, I think his smoking gun is obviously that you see the draconian censorship, which is just that should be a huge red flag, and a psychological evaluation of in the Nuremberg 2, in the grand jury trial. Also they spent a lot of time explaining the psychological abuse of the verbal communication, connected to this project. So it's So essentially, by blocking me on Facebook, then he blocked me on Facebook. Like first he asked why you are sending me this, which is like, you know, rhetorical, because he wasn't really expecting me to answer that. He was like, I don't like you sending me this. That's what he meant. And then he says he blocked me because, you know, like a faggot, you know. He says, I blocked you because you said something like being having the intellect to understand this or something. You know, like what? Yeah, having the intellect and the maturity to, you know, fight for freedom. Of course, if you just don't understand why freedom matters, like he obviously doesn't, and Benatar doesn't either, obviously. I mean, obviously they don't, because I mean they lost any credibility in fighting for negative utilitarianism when they are on like the and then I mean then he was like sorry, you know, I didn't read his dumb emails, you know. He shouldn't block me if he wants to write me emails later. Yeah, also I think he unblocked me once, you know, like I don't know if he expected me to suck his dick for that or what, but then but I saw some of the like first words, and it seems some of his like argument is like this, you know, like this Munchausen trilemma, that like well, because other people think so, then it must be okay. So he's using this Nuremberg defense essentially, like following orders or something, which I mean it's really that stupid. I mean it's just unbelievable. Firstly, society is not the military. And secondly, human history just shows that it's not okay. You have to think for yourself, obviously. That's why you have a brain, you know. That's why we have separate brains. Yeah, any guy, I mean, but this guy is just a piece of shit, you know, Andreas. What a terrible person. And also, why is he into this so early in his life? I mean, it's like, I mean, I wasn't into this when I was in my 20s, you know. You know, go out and get laid or something. Oh, I'm running out of battery now, so just gonna